Welcome to the Insomnia Project. We hope you sit back, lie back, stand back, relax, and listen. We're going to have a calm conversation about hopefully mundane conversations so that you can just drift off. Thank you for listening to the Insomnia Project. Tell your friends and family and anyone you know who needs something to help them drift off to sleep. I'm your host, Marco Timpano. And I can't believe I'm saying this, but this is the first time I'm having this dear friend of mine who I've known for multiple decades, Natasha Boomer. Welcome to the Insomnia Project.
Hello, Marco.
Natasha, thank you for coming.
Oh, thanks for asking.
It's so nice to have you in the studio. And I didn't even discuss what topic we're going to talk about because we've known each other for so many years.
We could talk about anything and it would make people fall asleep.
Okay, let's talk about Salem, Massachusetts.
Salem, Massachusetts. We were there this time-ish.
Was it this
last
time-ish?
year.
I was there for a wedding, and you were there with your sister just for fun.
Just for fun.
And it just so happened that the two places we just knew we were going to be in the same place at the same time. So we're like,
intersected.
Let's meet up. And we had fun.
Yeah. I think it's always fun when you take Toronto-based friends or any friends.
From a specific location.
From a specific location.
Because we have listeners all over the world.
All around the world.
Yes.
So you take people from, of somebody from a specific place, and then you just meet up in another place, and it bonds you even more. Like if we weren't already bonded, because of Salem, Massachusetts, and Boston, we are now more bonded.
We are. Massachusetts.
Massachusetts.
Is that how you say it?
Don't know.
Okay.
I say bagel.
Okay.
So.
I had a friend who said bagel for bagel.
Bagel.
That's how you say it.
That's how I say it.
Okay.
People often bother me about it. Or creative. I've gotten to the habit of saying creative.
Oh, wow.
I don't know how that happened.
But that's what you do.
Creative. Or here's another one I do. It just happened out of a joke.
Okay.
And now I can't help but often say relationship.
Okay.
And I don't know why.
I say bouse. I'm on the bouse. I say that to my wife just to...
Does that mean toilet?
No, bus.
Oh,
when I'm on the bus, I say I'm on the bouse.
I'm on the bouse.
And it all stems from a joke that we played on a friend. So we were working on a cruise ship. And there was people from all over the world. And there was a dancer from England. And he was very young. So this was his first job, let's say.
Yeah. Dancer on a boat. That's where you go to get experience, on the boat.
Sure, right? And he was lovely. And this was fun joke. And so myself and Derek Shipman, who's a very funny improviser and actor, we were sitting having a coffee or a drink and talking to him, right? And I said to him, I was like, well, I took the bouse here. And I just said it like that, right? And I knew Derek would play along. He goes, and our friend, I can't remember his name, so clearly he's not so much of a friend anymore, but
we'll call him Bill.
Bill turns to me and says, a bouse? A bouse? What's a bouse? And I'm like, a bouse. It's the thing, if you don't have a car, you hop on and you pay, and it takes you from place to place. And thankfully, Derek had my back. And he was like, yeah, a bouse. Like, when you went to school, didn't you go on a yellow school bouse? And Bill's like, no, a bouse. We call it a bus. We're like, a bus. And I'm like, okay, so then what do you call the little gray thing that lives in your house and eats cheese and you put traps out for? And he's like, a mouse. I go, you call it a mouse? We call it a muss. So we were playing this joke of words, right, with this guy, and he believed it. And then Derek and I just laughed so much, and then we told him we don't call it that, but he thought in Canada and the U.S. you call a mouse a muss, and a bus a bouse.
I love it.
So there you go.
That's the thing when you hang out with improvisers. You literally can have any conversation and just commit hard yes and go.
Our listeners have heard us talk so much about improv because so many of my friends are improvisers that they're like, is this a sleep cast or is it an improv cast?
Yeah, no doubt.
You enjoy chips.
I love chips.
Talk to me about chips. So much. Okay, so when we talk about...
It's my curse.
It's your curse and your blessing, would you say?
I don't... Well... My love for chips can never be called a blessing.
Okay.
Because they're so many calories in a chip.
Okay.
And they can do so much damage to your liver.
Okay, let's not talk about damage because people are trying to chill.
People are trying to fall asleep.
Yeah, and they don't want to get riled
Wait,
up.
I thought you said I could talk about anything.
Yeah, we'll talk about chips, but not the bad aspect of chips. Okay, so let's talk about what do you like? Banana chips? Do you
No.
like? So you like a traditional potato
I
chip?
just like a banana. Yeah, I just like a chip. But I'm really lately into lentil chips.
So those aren't bad for you.
They are when you eat the whole bag.
Okay, so all right, fair enough.
But why I like them
Tell me.
is because you can eat a whole bag, and they're only 500 calories.
Mm-hmm.
So you can go out and do a walk. A walk. You can go do a walk.
Where do you like to walk?
Oh, I walk. I have a 90-minute walk, and then I can turn it into a 2.5-hour walk. I like finding ravines,
Okay.
and I love houses. I like going late at night at dusk
Oh, beautiful.
and walking. I walk right now. I walk up past Casa Loma.
This is in Toronto.
This is in Toronto, and I walk down through the ravine, and I walk across St. Clair in Toronto. But I like the back streets so that I can look into people's houses and just see what they're doing.
Wonderful.
Are you watching? A lot of people watching TV, but I like it when people are sitting on the porch. I always will say hi to someone sitting on a porch. That's country. You can't take the country out of the Boomer. That's
Okay.
my last name. And
Because you grew up in the country,
I grew up in the country. Everybody says hello to everybody.
You grew up on a farm,
I
right?
grew up on a farm.
What kind of farm was it?
It was so my stepdad was a cattle farmer,
Oh, wow.
and then he was like a real rancher. His entire ranch burnt down.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
I know, it was very sad. And this was before I knew him.
Okay.
Then he met my mom when I was 11. And so he still had the horses
Mm-hmm.
left over from the limousine cattle. And that's higher grade than Angus.
Okay, so limousine cattle is the name of this type of cattle?
Yeah, so there's Angus and there's all the other cuts.
Right.
And so what made limousine cattle so good and tasty was it was a 6th generation herd.
Okay.
So you keep generating and it gets better and better and better. Anyway, he lost his whole everything. He did bring limousine cattle to Ontario.
Okay.
And so he had the horses. And we bought a farm. He was our real estate agent. And
So your mom bought a farm just
my mom
for
bought a farm.
fun, and he happened to be the real estate agent.
He was the real estate agent for selling our house.
Okay.
My mom moved in with her sister. We bought this huge farmhouse. It had a barn. And he's like, well, and then they were romantically involved.
Sure.
And so it was decided that he would bring his horses. He only had 3.
Okay.
He would bring his horses to stay on our farm.
And these weren't limousine horses. These were regular horses.
We had a quarter horse and maybe 2 quarter horses. But the one was...
What is a quarter horse?
Yeah, don't ask me because It's been so long. Quarter horse is a breed.
Okay, thank you.
It's a type of breed. And we had a mixed Arabian horse.
Oh, wow.
But in her day, he would make money putting her pictures in calendars. So photographers would come, take her picture, and then she was beautiful.
What was her name?
Benita.
Oh, wow.
Benita and Anna. And then we had Fancy, but I called Fancy Baby because I thought Fancy was a dumbass name.
Okay, fair enough. And Baby was better in your
And Baby
opinion.
was better. Well, because Baby was like a dog.
Okay.
And so she'd play fetch. You would throw a ball, and she would go get it and bring it back to you.
That's my coffee cup hitting the arm of the mic.
And
What was your dog's name?
we only had one dog. We had a couple dogs on the farm, but they belonged to my uncle and aunt. And we had Molly, Gabe. Oh, I had a dog named Luther,
Okay.
but my mom gave him away one day.
Oh, I'm sorry.
And then we had another dog named Buddy. And Buddy and Luther, when they got together, they would create havoc. They would go in the morning, you'd want to go to work, and they would just run out into the mud field and come back completely dirty.
Okay.
And my mom's like, I can't put that in the house.
Fair enough. Now, let me ask you this. Back to the horses, back to the
Back
cattle.
to the horses.
So your mom's partner at the time said, let's bring in some horses to your new farm.
Mm-hmm.
Did cows then come soon after?
No, there was no more cows. He butchered them all,
Okay.
sold them, and we had 3, maybe 8-foot freezers in the barn,
Okay.
just filled with meat.
Oh, great.
And Jim would do trades. Or my mom.
Like a barter? Like you
yeah,
would barter?
like people would need something, and he'd be like, go out and get a rump roast.
Right.
Or like often my mom would be like, well, go to the barn and get a pack of meat, like hamburger meat. I never bought hamburger. We never bought hamburger meat from I did not know. I only would see it red in the grocery store.
Right.
It was always brown. So I always thought our meat was bad. My mom was like, nope, this is the way meat is supposed to be.
Sure.
Like, so it was, I don't know. I'm a vegetarian now.
Sure.
But like growing up, man, I ate a lot of meat. And we would do, like, there was a pig farmer down the road. So he would trade us cuts. So we would often be in the barn trading whatever pig. And we had a lot of like pig roast on Sunday nights.
Sure.
Not the killing of the pig, but you'd get like a roast. And,
Right.
Because one of my favorite memories with my mother, this is so bad, this shows you, just eating the crackling off the
Oh,
top
delicious.
of a pig. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why when people tell me that they eat meat, I'm not too hard on them because
Sure.
I remember how good it tastes.
Okay. Fair enough. What else did you have on your farm? Like, did you have a big red barn? Like, was it a traditional type farm?
We had a steel barn.
Oh, okay.
So it was like silver, steel.
Did you have a silo? You know how a lot of barns have those silos? No.
Silo is for corn.
Okay.
We had a cesspool,
Okay.
which we were told to stay away from because you can drown.
Sure.
And a lot of baby cats drowned in
Okay.
it because we had a couple barn cats. And my uncle
Mm-hmm.
paid a lot of money to have the cesspool removed
Okay.
because he thought it was dangerous.
Fair. Let's stick away from dangerous and deathly things
Yeah.
in this podcast, and let's just try to be more,
All right.
because people are trying to.
But I've lived life on the edge so often.
Fair.
We had 50 acres.
Okay.
We had a swamp in the middle of the 50 acres, and we had a forest. So we would build cross-country ski trails.
Oh wow.
Mm-hmm.
What's that like? Skiing in the country?
skiing.
Yeah.
That was great.
Yeah.
Through your forest, yeah, it was great. We just did the loop many times, but also from where I live, Pinehurst cross-country ski resort is up there.
Oh, cool.
So we would go there. Once you ski your own hills, you're like, I'm bored of this. But on the first day, when we moved to the farm, maybe you won't approve of this, Marco.
No, I'll approve. Hopefully it doesn't involve death or
It
disaster.
does involve death. I walked out to see I know you've told me what not to do, and I'm doing it anyway. I am a rebel. I walked out to the forest to go through the forest. I often
Sure.
like to play the game. I am Maid Marian, searching for my Robin Hood.
Okay.
And I found a large cow skull.
Okay.
And I thought, this is an omen. And also, I was in grade 7. I thought it was the coolest thing that ever. So I brought it into the barn.
Cool.
Because I wasn't allowed to bring it into the house.
Sure.
But
Most
yeah.
people don't want you to bring cow skulls into the house, I would imagine.
But I thought it was so cool. And then we had Timothy hay that would grow very, very high.
Is that a type of hay?
It's a type of hay.
Okay.
And it would grow very high. It's great for feeding. We made a lot of money.
So you would grow this hay, and then you would, what do you call it when you bind
A
it?
farmer
Okay.
would bale it.
Bale it. Thank
They
you.
would come and they'd bale it, and we would trade because you can't feed cows
Mhm.
or horses Timothy hay.
Oh,
It's
how
for-
come?
I think you can feed horses. It's not nutritionally sound. I
Okay.
think you can feed. You use it for bedding, I think, if I'm not mistaken.
So that's what that Timothy hay is used for,
Yes.
bedding?
So I believe so.
Okay.
But all I know for a fact is we would trade another farmer for baled, like square baled hay for our horses that the horses could eat.
Sure.
And he would take our big roll bale hays.
The Timothy hay, they roll it.
Yeah, so he comes
like
in and
a
he rolls
cylinder, like a giant cylinder.
like
right?
super big. Yeah. So
Okay.
he would, with a big tractor, and he would come every September and do that. And then we would get our barn filled with like something you'd see at not an amusement park, but at like a farmer market, kind of those tiny square bales of
Okay.
hay.
Cool.
And then we'd feed the horses that. We had it all. And that's where the cats would live.
Did you grow any crops?
No.
No pumpkins?
No.
Okay.
No, it was all hay and swamp and hills.
Okay.
We tobogganed a lot on it. But I can remember on my 12th birthday.
What are some tobogganing tips, before we get to your 12th birthday, what are some tobogganing tips you would give some of our international listeners who've never tobogganed before? And if you're not familiar with tobogganing as a term, some people call it sledding, some people call it tubing. It depends what you use to go down a snowed hill. So what are some tips you would give
Here's some tips.
prospective tobogganers?
Well, if you're going to toboggan where I lived on the hill at my house, you will want to make sure the electrical fence is off.
Okay, let's...
Because we got hit a couple times.
Is there anything we can talk about that isn't horrific with regards to tobogganing? Some
Marco,
tips.
why did you have me on the show? I only have fun, horrific
All right, let's go to your
stories.
12th birthday.
Well, it's my 12th birthday. The Timothy hay is above our heads. It's very, very high.
Sure.
And I want to do something really cool.
Great.
And so I say, we have just moved to the farm. Let's run as fast as we can through the hay and just run into it, thinking it would be like in the movies.
Okay.
And so we're at the top of the hill, all of my friends. They're all nervous. They're 12. They might even be 11, haven't turned 12 yet.
Okay.
My birthday's in June, so it's just before the summer. And there's a very good chance, Marco, that I won't be friends with these people after the summer because we've moved from Cambridge to the farm.
Okay.
So we're all going to different schools. So it was one of those birthdays. And
And we're talking Cambridge, Ontario.
Cambridge, Ontario. Okay. My birthday presents were heavily Rick Astley influenced.
Okay.
All his tapes.
He was a big singer in the 80s with a deep voice.
He was
in case
so
people,
amazing.
Okay.
And we run down the hill. And we're just going to run through this hay field, which I thought would probably be soft and fun. Like the Timothy shampoo. Remember Timote?
Yes, of course.
The shampoo commercial. And from the 80s. Whatever happened to that product? Anyway. And so I run. And what...
Are you listening to Rick Astley at this point while you're running?
No, because we're alone in the field. And there's no such thing as a PA system yet unless you're in
I thought
high
maybe
school.
a Walkman, or like you were singing it to yourself, perhaps.
No. Yeah. Never gonna give you up. And so I run through the field. But Timothy hay is not soft. And Timothy hay has huge, big spiders with cobwebs.
This is not what people who are trying to sleep want to hear.
Have a nice sleep, everybody. And I'm running, and I emerge. I'm in there because you've got momentum because of the hill. And I emerge from the field of hay naked because there's spider webs all over me. And that was the highlight for everybody else but me.
Wait a minute. So you removed your clothes as you were going through the hay?
As I was, because I couldn't get these spiders off fast enough. And I thought, spiders don't stick to naked skin. And the tiny amount of pubic hair I had.
All right, let's go somewhere else.
Okay, let's find another story that I can find Devin.
You said your birthday is in June.
It sure is, June 12th.
What is your birthstone?
Amethyst, I think.
Amethyst?
Yeah.
Is June?
I don't know.
Oh, okay.
I think it's amethyst. I'm pretty sure it's amethyst.
Okay.
Get out your phone and check that.
I'll check that. But in the meantime, do you like amethyst?
Yeah, one time.
Okay.
No, I was just going to tell a fake story.
No, tell me about...
Killed me.
Tell me about
I like amethyst.
What's your favorite gemstone?
Oh.
How about that?
Oh, they're so... I love raw ruby. I think it's so different than the actual ruby.
So what do you mean by raw?
It's just
ruby?
raw. It's like when when you just pull it from the ground.
So
It
and it's
hasn't
not
been
expensive. You
processed yet.
you can.
Oh, you can get a piece of raw ruby for like $6. And it's kind of like deep, dark earth red. And it's just this beautiful stone. And I love apophyllite. I love, what else do I love? I really am into blue apatite right now. It's
Okay.
so deeply blue. You know what? It's not even the crystals that I love. It's the color. You give me a deep, deep purple, like charolite. It has such a deep, it's from Russia.
Okay.
It's such a deep purple and black. I love the color combination of purple and black.
So where does one get this Russian gemstone? Is it expensive?
Charolite?
Charolite.
Charolite's
Is it
a
hard?
little bit more expensive than most. I find like you can just buy the tumbled stone at a rock shop somewhere.
Okay, just an update on June's birthstone. I just randomly went to one website, and it says June is one of the only 2 months that has 3 birthstones associated with it, giving the lucky people born in June a choice of gemstones between pearl,
I was going to say pearl.
alexandrite,
Oh.
and moonstone.
Not one amethyst.
No, I think that's
Well,
February. I'm trying to look.
What's very interesting is moonstone and pearl are very similar.
Really? How so? Because a pearl is made by an oyster,
Yes.
and moonstone is made by the moon.
They look very similar. I made a bracelet once because I make chakra bracelets
Right.
of pearl and moonstone, and if it weren't for the different shape, they just have a beautiful luster.
If someone wants to buy one of your bracelets,
They really have to come to my house because they're
okay,
not. I haven't decided if I'm going to put them on Etsy.
okay,
Not
fair enough.
Etsy.
Etsy, but you pronounce it
It's a
Etsy.
lot of work.
Okay, fair enough. But anyway, so you were saying, yeah, amethyst is February's birthstone.
That's weird.
Well, it is.
I got an angel from my grandfather,
Mm-hmm.
and it was purple amethyst, and it was my birth month.
Okay, let me tell you the birthstones for each month, and you give me something you know about that stone.
Oh,
Okay, is that
fun
fair?
game.
Okay. January,
Well, yeah.
garnet.
Oh, garnet's beautiful. It's a lot like ruby,
Okay.
darker, more black in it. Raw garnet is beautiful. It's very grounding.
Okay.
And then if you polish up garnet and you put it in a bracelet, it's like this deep, beautiful red. But the garnet stone, you can't find it in 6-inch. It's always in 7.
Okay, let's go to February's birthstone.
Amethyst.
Amethyst.
Do not keep amethyst in a window. It will fade.
Okay, good tip. March, aquamarine.
Aquamarine, beautiful color stone. Very expensive to buy in bead form. But it's great for your throat chakra. And it's stunning. It's a stunning stone.
April's birthstone, diamond.
There's the Herkimer diamond, which is about personal growth. But diamonds, I find, they're so misunderstood, right? Like, they're the same as any other stone, except for we've over-processed them and made them into a wedding stone, right?
Fair enough. May, the emerald.
Oh, beautiful. The raw emerald is unassuming, I'll tell you that.
And once again, it's cheaper than a fine cut emerald. Is that fair
Oh my
to say?
God.
Okay.
You can buy a raw emerald for $4. Well, back in the day. The truth is I already have enough, so I don't know today's prices.
Okay.
But a raw emerald has like black, again, has like some black and green in it. And it's just gorgeous.
June, we have the pearl and the moonstone, which we talked about a bit. What about alexandrite?
Alexandrite is great. It's blue. It's got it blue or green. You can find it different. I don't have a lot. What's ironic about it is I don't have a lot of alexandrite.
Oh, well, there you go. If you're listening to this podcast and you're friends with Natasha Boomer and you're like, what should I get her? Maybe some alexandrite.
Yeah, but you know what? Don't.
Okay.
Because I'll just be upset with your choice.
Fair enough. July, ruby.
Oh, yeah. Like I already talked about raw ruby. It's beautiful.
August, I don't know if I'm saying this right. Peridot?
Yeah, peridot.
Or
I was
peridot?
going to say peridot. I used to be obsessed with peridot. It's a great heart chakra. It's tiny, tiny. And for years, you couldn't find it in raw form. It's So you won't find a big piece of it ever. You will only find tiny little pieces of it. I love it. I love peridot.
September, sapphire.
Sapphire. I have one piece of raw sapphire. It looks like a rock. I've lost it with all my other rocks. Sapphire, I think, is over exaggerated.
Okay. October, opal.
Yeah, opal. Very, very similar to pearl. Opal is almost impossible to find pure. It's all fake, I find.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, you can find it, but it's like it's so easy to fake.
What do they fake it with?
Well, just like glass or plastic.
Okay, so buyer beware.
Yeah.
November, topaz / or citrine.
Yeah, topaz and citrine, they're both, they can be both yellow. But like, here's the thing to understand about amethyst and citrine. Often a lot of citrine that you buy in the stores, if you buy the jagged raw rocks, it's amethyst and it's fire treated. Real citrine, real yellow citrine is rare, beyond rare, right? And so it's usually fire treated amethyst.
Okay.
It's of the same family, but topaz, I have a lemon topaz from India. Oh, it's beautiful.
Cool. Last but not least, my birth month, December, is turquoise, tanzanite, and zircon.
Yes, I don't know anything about zircon, to be
fair enough.
honest with you.
What about turquoise?
Turquoise, raw turquoise, one of my favorite pieces I have. It looks like it's the shape of a womb. I love it. Turquoise is great for your throat chakra.
There you go.
And then Tanzanite. Yeah, very rare. It's hard to find.
Yeah.
If you're going to go into a rock shop and be like, I want a piece of tumbled Tanzanite, good luck. Yeah, I can only find, even when making bracelets, I can't find pure Tanzanite, and I can only find the chipped, and you never know if those are fake or not.
Tanzanite.
Tanzanite.
Well, you love turquoise, and I loved having you as my guest. Natasha, I would love to have you back for some Christmas episodes, Christmas on the Farm, perhaps. But I'm scared that I'm worried it might be a horrific episode. Okay, we'll do
Christmas on the Farm is hay rides.
Okay, because we did it last year with Liz McEachran, and we talked about Christmas on the Farm. So I'd love to have Christmas on the Farm with you. So that'll be an upcoming episode. Listener beware, because it is Natasha Boomer, and she tends to veer into a bit of the dark, scary side.
Okay.
I love you, Natasha Boomer.
I love you, Marco.
Thank you so much for coming on this show.
You.
I had a great time.
Me too.
If you did enjoy this podcast, this episode, please send us an Instagram or Twitter response. We'd love to hear it. I'll pass it on to Natasha. And if you're still up, we hope you have a great evening, great day, great afternoon.
Good night.
Good night.